What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So the wild card round is all wrapped up. Now let's start off with the Colts and the Bills. That game went as expected. Josh Allen played great, had almost 300 yards passing, a couple touchdown passes. He had a rushing touchdown, led his team in rushing. Stephon Diggs played good. And that number 2 offense showed up. They jumped on the Colts quick and did not look back. Phillip Rivers played good, but not good enough. It's always the same thing with Rivers when they're in the playoffs. He plays good or mediocre, but man can't play great and carry his team. But he's about to be 39-40, so he's at the end of his career. Colts were in it, Colts tried to come back and pull off an upset, but it was just too late. I was almost pinpoint accurate or perfect with my prediction. I predicted 27-17 Buffalo, and it was 27-24. So, no surprises in that game. Buffalo handled their business. Now they're going to go against the Ravens, which will be a great game. But before I get into that, let's go with wild card round. The second game, which was... What was the second game? Oh yeah, the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams defense is all I gotta say. I predicted I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not surprised. Rams defense showed up. Russell Wilson wasn't effective. The run game was subpar. DK Metcalf was like the only offensive player who showed he showed up. 5 catches, about 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think Russell Wilson was like 11 for 27 passing. That's terrible. For Russell Wilson standards, that's terrible. The Rams defense is number 1 for a reason. Aaron Donald. They got Jalen Ramsey back there. They have a lot of good players on that defense. Defense is so important in the playoffs. A number 1 defense in the playoffs is much more important than number 1 offense. You got to stop people. You got to slow down people when you need to. And the Rams put in work on the Seahawks. Russell Wilson can do anything. Jared Goff played good enough. The original QB got hurt. I saw the injury. It was he went to the hospital. It was like on the head. Jamal Adams hit him, which Jamal Adams, so overrated. Seattle gave up like 2 first-round picks for this cat, and he has no picks for the year. All he does is blitz. All he does is rush. So the Jets won that trade. Excuse me. The Jets won that trade. Seattle really thought this cat was worth that much? And he ain't doing nothing on your defense except rushing? He has almost 10 sacks on the year, Jamal Adams, which is good. But for a safety? You a safety, bro. Play like a safety. You ain't no defensive lineman. Wow. Seattle got ripped off there. Pete Carroll's now in the hot seat, I think. You can't be 12-4 and get bounced like that. That's bad. Not really the coach, but the players. But Rams played just good enough on offense. I predicted 20-12 Seattle. I got the points right for Seattle. But Rams put 30 on them. And that defense, though, that Rams defense is going to go against the Packers. That's going to be a good one. But before we get to that, the next game was the Buccaneers and the Washington football team. I said Redskins last video, but football team is the correct term. So, Tampa jumped up. Tampa jumped on them early. Washington's defense kept them in the game. They kept stopping Brady. He couldn't get too ahead of him. Washington showed up. Chase Young, got to put some respect on Washington's defense, though. Like Chase Young and I don't know many of the players on that defense. My bad. I don't know any of them right now, but they play good. They're number 2 in the league for a reason. And that QB, Taylor Heineke, or I forget his name, but that dude almost pulled off an upset against Tom Brady. And he was a backup. So some team might give him a nice contract. That's pushing it, but hey, you never know. A lot of teams need quarterbacks. So Tampa did what they had to do. I predicted Tampa to dominate 28-10. Tampa scored the right amount of points I predicted. 31. I'm not surprised there. But Washington put up 23. They almost came back on Tom Brady and them Bucks. You know, that was a close one for a minute, but Tampa handled their business. Now they're going on the road against the Saints. I know the division run's going to be crazy, but before we get to that, the next 3 games, I believe. What was the next ones? Ravens and Titans. Shocked by that one. That's the one game I was shocked by. The Ravens, so far, the Ravens, it was a defensive game. Both quarterbacks threw an interception. Derrick Henry had 40 yards rushing. I think the lowest of the whole entire year, the whole season. The guy who ran for 2,000 yards ran 40 yards in the playoffs. That's crazy. I remember the last video I said Ravens defense wasn't that good. I was completely wrong on that. Ravens defense is actually very good. I believe they're top 5 almost. So, my bad for the Ravens fans out there. Like, y'all's defense is good, and it showed against Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill couldn't really do much without that run game. He needs Derrick Henry playing well for him to excel. And if Derrick Henry's not there, Tannehill really has not many options for that defense to throw at him. And it showed. And Lamar Jackson carried that team. He ran for over 100 yards. You know, he threw a pick, but he played good. And defense, it all comes down to defense in these playoffs. That's what it's all about. Remember a few years back when it was the Seahawks and the Broncos in the Super Bowl? Number 1 defense and number 1 offense, which that Broncos offense, when Peyton Manning threw 55 touchdowns, was like record-breaking like offense. Has so many touchdowns, so many yards, like number 1 offense on everything. And they get blown out 43-8 in the Super Bowl. Defense, bro. It's all about defense. Anyway, I was surprised by that one. I predicted like OT 30-27, but Ravens 20-13. Wow. They play good. Now they're going against the Bills. That's going to be a crazy game, but that's another video. Now the next one, Saints and Bears. Wasn't expected. You know, I predicted like 31-14, but I wasn't too off. It was like 21-9. So, I mean, Drew Brees had like almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamara had about 100 yards. Trubisky, the real Trubisky, showed up. You know, it was 21-3 the whole game for a majority of the game. And then they had garbage touchdown with Jimmy Graham. So, 21-9, not many surprises there. I expected the Saints to win. Now they got to play the Bucs. That's a real one right there. That's going to be a big one. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady? And Drew Brees' possible final year? Wow, it's going to be a good game. But before we get to that, keep jumping the gun. What was the game after? Oh, yeah. And the best for last. The Browns and the Steelers. Them Steelers choked. Absolutely choked. It was god-awful. I mean, the Cowboys would be proud. Talk about choking. The Steelers, first snap, goes over Ben's head, Ben Roethlisberger's head. And they get up 7-0 like that. And then at the end of the first, it was 28-0 in the first quarter. What the? Dude, that's insane. That is literally crazy. 28-0 in the first quarter. Juju doing all that, dancing on this TikTok, and all the Steelers people, they look stupid. Even Juju saying the Browns are the Browns. Like, dude, how dumb can you be? If you're going against a team saying stuff like that disrespect, you know them teams going to be looking at that, and you're going to give them even more fuel, even more of an itch to get at y'all. And you on offense, them dudes going to be hitting the hell out of you. So Juju effed up saying that. Definitely before the game. You say it after, it's done. But he dropped the ball on that one, literally. Dropped the ball doing that. And the Browns jumped on him, smelled blood, and did not let up. I mean, the Steelers scored 37 points, but it was 48-37. Like, bro, you can score 37 points, but you were down 28-0 in the first quarter. Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 picks, I think. But Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, I don't know if he needs to retire. I don't know if he needs to go somewhere else, but like, I think he's kind of stuck in Pittsburgh. If you're already at the end of your career, might as well just retire there. If you don't want to play, you can pull a Phillip Rivers. But Baker Mayfield played great. Chubb played great. Landry played great. That defense was good. Picked off Roethlisberger like crazy. I mean, I'm kind of glad, though. I've never liked the Steelers. I mean, yeah, I never liked the Steelers. I'll be real. Never liked the Steelers. They would beat the Houston Oilers a lot back in the day. I didn't see that. You know, my fam saw that, seeing the Oilers lose to the Steelers, which back in the days, they would like cheat and put casts and stuff and hit people, and Jack Lambert and all them cats. But, wow. Now Cleveland's going on the road to Kansas City. But that's going to be another video. This is just a reaction. I'll do the prediction maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I don't know when, but I'll be doing that soon. But exciting games. Exciting games. Colts took care of business. Or, excuse me, Bills took care of business. Seahawks couldn't do anything against that Rams defense. The Buccaneers showed up. Redskins made it interesting. Brady, the GOAT. Titans, Ravens. Derrick Henry, nowhere to be found. Ravens come up clutch. Even in that game, though, Tennessee was like in the logo of the Ravens or something. Like, yo, you're doing stuff to set off the other team, and you know they're gonna come with an extra, extra momentum, more pissed. And they got what they deserved. The Steelers dropped the ball on that. The Titans dropped the ball on that. And look what happened. They both lost. But anyway, Ravens did what they had to do. Saints expected to beat the Bears. No surprises. And the Browns and Steelers. Like, Steelers fans better shut up now. Hearing all that 11-0, 11-0. Bro, y'all just got smacked by the Browns. Choked. But now we got some good games for the divisional round, but that's for another video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Always, I'm forever grateful for you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.